Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use the SRPO model as a face detailer. You will be able to take your Flux generated characters, actually even the SDXL and SD 1.5 generated characters, and get a realistic face using today's workflow. Let's take a look at the demo. All right, so here's the workflow loaded. As you can see, we have distinctive groups for each section. This top section here is going to be for the text to image section. You'll simply need to add your text and you will get an image. Most of you will be interested in the image to image to enhance existing generated characters. You will get two options. The first one is a manual masking. This will allow you to define the areas you want to mask out and regenerate that realistic skin for. The second option, this area here, will be for the automatic masking. Everything is controlled using this middle section here. This is the switch, which will allow you to switch between the text to image at the top, the manual masking here, or the automatic masking section here. Finally, your output will be this section here. Now I'm going to give you a high-level overview of how to use this workflow. In case you are an experienced ComfyUI user, you can just go into the description down below, download the workflow, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. We'll start from the top left of the workflow. You can click on it, press period, and this section is for the text to image, like I mentioned. There are nodes everywhere that will help you download the model and give you indication of what you can change. I've already covered the SRPO model in detail in a previous video. So if you have not watched it, you can always click on this link here. It will take you directly to that video. You can watch it, download the model, set it up, and then come back to this workflow. For the text to image, you simply need to add your text here and then click on the run button. You will get your image in the output section here. Next to the output section on the right side, I've added the image comparer. You can use to compare the original image versus the generated image. This will be more applicable if you are doing image to image enhancement. Now the manual masking, you'll simply need to go into the image to image section down below. Put your image here, right click, click on open in mask editor, mask out the area you'd like to see, enhance, click on save, and then click on the run button. Next is the automatic masking section here. And this one, you don't have to do anything. We'll use the same load image here. Input your image in this node. You don't even have to clear out the mask since the switch here will automatically ignore any previous mask and then generate. Now, to control everything, you'll need to decide which section you want to use. And you'll go into the middle here where we have the switch, and it says here, text to image, change the number here to 1 if you are doing text to image at the top. If you're doing a manual masking, this section here, then you will change this to 2. And if you're doing an automatic masking, this is the default. When you download the workflow, it will be defaulted to number 3, which is automatic masking. Simply change the numbers here. Okay, so now I'm going to go and explain each section in detail in case you are getting started with ComfyUI and you need that extra assistance. I'm going to start from the top where we have text to image. Now, like I mentioned, please watch the previous video. I'm not going to explain again how to download the model, where to place all of these files. These have already been covered in this video here. Click on the link and you will get all the necessary information there. By the way, this SRPO is a fine-tuned version of the Flux dev model. So you can place this SRPO in any Flux base workflow. This is what I did. This is simply a Flux workflow and I've replaced it with the SRPO model. As you can see, we still have the T5XXL, the clip L, the type is Flux. We also have the VAE, which is a Flux VAE. In terms of the positive prompt, it's basically a Flux positive prompt that you'll need to put in here. You will use natural language, a woman front facing, an image like this, and you can see when I zoom in here, the skin texture and detail are really well done by this model, generated really nicely. However, this model is only for hyper-realistic skin texture and detail. Everything else, anything else, like if you want to do stylized images, you should not be using this model. So simple prompt like this will get you images like this one. You can also go detail depending on what you like to see. Now I'm going to recommend to use a different model to generate your base image instead of using this text to image version here. That is simply because the best way to use the model is as a face detailer, basically enhancing the detail on the face of existing characters. For that, we will need to go into the bottom section. We have two of these sections. Let me clear out the mask here. This way you can see my original image. Drag your image, drop it into this node, and then go into the latent switch here. Change the number to 2. By the way, I may have forgot to mention this. If you are doing text to image, you come to the latent switch here and change the number to 1. In case you've generated a text to image and you get an output like this, you'll need to come to the key sampler at the top, change the denoise value and set it to 1. However, for the image to image, you can use any in-between values. I'm going to recommend 0.5 as a base starting point, and I have a note here that will tell you if you increase it, it means you want more change, and if you are decreasing it, less change in your original image. 0.5 is a good standard to get started. Now this section here is going to be for the image to image manual masking. Once you have your image in this node, right click on the image, select open in mask editor. You can use the controls on the right side here, thickness to control the brush size, and then paint over the area you want to regenerate, basically enhance. I'm going to get the ears as well. Click on the save. As you can see, I've also included the neck area. If you have arms and hands in your image, you can also select it using the brush. Once completed, click on the save button at the top and you should be able to see your mask in the preview here. Next, we'll go into the middle section here. You can middle click to pan around. You can also use the hand icon. Press the H key to get the hand icon, and then you can drag and navigate. Now in this latent switch, because we are doing the manual masking, this one here, we'll need to change the number to 2. Also make sure that in the key sampler, the denoise is around 0.5. Click on the run button. Once completed, you will get your image like this, and you can see now we have really nice skin and the detail is well done. Here is the before and after. So this is after and this is before. You can see we have that AI look, and the final result, the enhanced version, we are going away from that AI look. So just enhancing the detail. If you find that your enhanced version is looking different than the original person, then you will go into the denoise field here and change the value, decrease it to, let's say, 0.4. Try again. If that doesn't work, then you go even lower. I'm going to set it back to 0.5 and let's zoom out. You can click on a blank space, press the period key. This will zoom you out to see the entire workflow. Now we'll go into this section here, which is for the automatic masking. Press the period key. After selecting the group, it will zoom you in. And in here, the only thing you need to make sure is that the denoising strength in the K sampler is around 50%. Otherwise, everything else is already done for you. You can see it will automatically detect the face, and you can see it here. It's detecting the face and it will create a mask for your character, just the face though. That is why I've added the manual section here. In case you have more people in your image, or 2, 3, you can always go in and manually select everyone, including the chest area, arms, forearms, or hand as well. But if you quickly want to enhance the face, this is how you'll do it. Get your image in here. By the way, you don't even have to remove anything here. notice in this image comparison here in the chest area of the character, so this section here, there are changes happening. The skin was enhanced in the manual version, and that's because I included the neck and chest as well in my masking step. Now I'm going to activate the auto masking section. You will do this simply by changing the value here to 3. All right, always use the help in case you need a refresher on what the number is doing. Now next, double check to make sure that the K-sampler Denoise is at 0.5, and then click on the run button. Once completed, you can see the difference. In this version, only the face was enhanced. You can see the neck area still has that AI look. If we go into the image comparer here, you'll be able to see that only the face was changed, not the neck and the chest area, only the face here. The model is really good at creating these photorealistic enhancement. So I think the best use case for the SRPO model is as a face detailer instead of using it as a base model to create the entire image. For those of you who would like to use the GGUF version, we have 2 versions. There's a Q4 and a Q8 version. Depending on your hardware, you can always select between the 2. If you can run the Safe Tenses version, you can always do the FP8 version. By default, the Safe Tenses one will be selected. If you want to use the GGUF, you'll simply need to connect the GGUF loader model with the model sampling Flux here. So just connect these two like so. Once you connect it, you will see that the load diffusion model should get disconnected. Other than this, there's nothing much to talk about. All right, so that is it. Now, hopefully you know how to use the SRPO model as a face detailer. I would like to shout out Kevin for asking this question, if it was possible to use this. Thank you to all for watching until the very end. Big shout out to all of my Patreon members supporting the channel. That is it. Thank you once again. Have a nice day. Take care. I will see you next time.